exciting news recently regarding being able to speak more about GHK, the copper peptide, and stem cell activation with the X39, the way it states in our patent. Can you elaborate on that? Let us know some exciting news that we're going to be able to have. That's good to me. That's going to be very exciting news for 2024.
Yes, absolutely. I'd love to talk about it. So the first thing is, I would say, altruistically, the FDA is supposed to act in our best interest, right? They're supposed to be an agency that protects people from consumer fraud on health products and other things. And but unfortunately, what we see is the FDA not really acting in consumers' best interest. So FDA has a mandate now where they want to start taking natural compounds off the market and regulate them as drugs. So hopefully this won't pass, but things like glutathione, lipoic acid, they want to pull these supplements off the market because they know that these supplements treat things like diabetes and cancer, right? So that's what we're up against. So with X39, we're in the category of general wellness, and FDA now wants to regulate stem cells as drugs. For injections, totally understandable, but not for our patch, right? Because we're not putting anything in the body. And stem cells naturally occur in the body. So when this all went down in August, I started to think about, what would be a way that we could deal with this and still be legal in terms of our claims. So I started thinking about pairing a health supplement with the patches where we could support the stem cell claims and support the copper peptide claims.
Yes.
So I went to our FDA attorney with this. Now, he's been our attorney since 2005. He's a very, very well-known Washington, D.C. attorney, and he also consults for other companies in our industry.
Yeah.
And I said, this is what I have in mind. And he came back and said, those will be totally legal claims. So we've put together a supplement that contains things like glycine, lysine, copper, beta-alanine, and it's matched to specific patches. So for example, you use any of the patches that you would use during the day, and this formula supports the activity of those patches. So I talk about this all the time on LifeWave Connect, and many leaders like yourselves would say, well, why don't we sell those supplements? Well, now we will. But it's all in one, we've done it all in one formula.
Okay.
So
that is great.
So we'll be able to co-market the supplement with X39, and we'll be able to make the claim that this supports levels of copper peptide in the body, and it supports stem cell activity.
Wow.
And people get all these crazy good benefits.
Wow.
Amazing.
Yes.
So throughout this year, we're going to be implementing the supplement.
Oh, well, we're going to be putting all of that information on our website and saying coming soon, and that will allow us to start making the claims now.
Yeah.
And then just within maybe about the next 2 months, it'll get released in the United States.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Wow.
Come on,
Yeah.
give me 5 on that one. Thank
Fire
you,
it up.
David.
Yeah.
This is
Yeah.
And this is, by the way, this is not a pill. This is going to be...
it's not a pill.
It's not a pill. It's a powder. And you mix it in with water. And it will have an immediate effect, but there's no stimulants in it. So think in terms of things that are infused with light.
Woo!
So
I'm fired up, guys.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to change the way people think about supplements.
Yes.
It's not going to be a Me Too product.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Fantastic.
Yep.
So we have a lot of highly educated doctors online today, a lot of brand new brand partners. Can you explain really how the technology of the X39 patch really works?
Sure.
We get so many questions,
Yeah.
and it's like, if I just had a simple verbiage back to them, it would really help a lot.
Yeah.
Well, this isn't going to be simple.
Okay. Oh,
So it'll be simple for doctors.
Right, okay, good,
But
good.
maybe not lay people. So essentially what happens is in our patches, they stimulate the skin with very low levels of light. This will in turn cause a increase in the amount of something called cytochrome C oxidase. And this is found in the mitochondria, and it's found in what's called the electron transport chain. So in order for the body to convert food over into energy, it's got to go through this very complicated series of biochemical reactions that acts like what we call a bucket brigade of transferring one molecule to another. So in the final stages of the electron transport chain, you have something called cytochrome C oxidase, and this is an energy carrier. So with light, the specific wavelengths of light, you can increase that, and as a result get a net increase in the amount of ATP that's produced in the cell. When we get an increase in ATP, now it's like getting an increase in cash in the bank. So Steve, I know one of the things you and I have in common with a lot of other guys is that we like sports cars.
Yeah.
And we like driving, we like driving sports cars. Well, you got to have some money to drive a sports car,
Yes.
right? So in the human body, you've got to have energy in order to make new muscle, repair damaged tissue, and so forth, and make hormones. And when we use the patch, the first thing that it's going to do is make the amount of energy available in the cell higher. From there, the patch uses other wavelengths of light, a blend of wavelengths of light, to turn on gene expression where copper peptide, the copper peptide gene gets expressed, and now we can see through blood testing that it does increase within 24 hours.
Wow.
Yeah, so the basic mechanism: stimulate the skin with light, increase energy, increase copper peptide.
But talking about the GHK, can you tell us a little bit, seeing how, we're discussing the GHK, the peptides, and the importance of it is in your body. Tell us a bit what to expect once your GHK levels in your body are elevated wearing the X39. What does somebody expect when that happens?
Yeah, so copper peptide, well, there's two peptides. One is GHK and one is GHK-Cu.
Okay.
So the first thing is both of these peptides will decrease with age, and the peptide has a very strong affinity for copper. So it means once the peptide's created, it's going to want to bond with copper. And we have this peptide in our body, and by the time people reach 60, it's declined by about 60 to 80%.
You're 60.
Wow.
So, I didn't realize we're the same
I've
age.
been wearing-
There we go.
I'm going to be 62. Woo!
Yeah. But we've been wearing the X39, so
There you
that's
go.
why we're feeling so great.
Yeah, and it's so not surprisingly, levels of GHK are strongly correlated with stem cell activity in the body. So Dr. Lauren Picard, who discovered this peptide and worked on it for decades, what he discovered was that the real power in copper peptide is its ability to regulate gene expression. So we can think of the genes in our body as being switches, and they're either on or off.
Right.
And they're either methylated or hypermethylated, but it goes, the genes go through this process where they're either exposed or they're coded, and we either have access to the information or we don't. And as we age, there are certain things that get turned off that we want on, or there's certain things that get turned on that we want turned off. And one of the things that was exciting in aging research was to find out that resveratrol was going to turn on one or two genes associated with long life. Those are the sirtuins.
Right.
So you remember all the hype about resveratrol.
Yes.
Well, copper peptide's 4,000 genes,
Wow.
not just two. 4,000.
Wow.
So that gives you an idea of power scaling
We
between
got
something
it,
like
guys.
Yeah.
Yes.
copper peptide and resveratrol. So the benefits then are really massive because we're talking about being able to recapture some of the youth that we lost. That means that we see when people elevate their copper peptide that their cognition is going to improve, their recovery after exercise is going to improve, collagen increases, so people see reduction in lines and wrinkles. We see short-term, long-term memory improvements, synthesis of new proteins in the body. The benefits are systemic, and the benefits are quite significant. So what's exciting to me about this is that X39 takes us about 1/3 of the way towards human age reversal. It's an incredibly important foundational